Birth. The start of a new beginning. Defined by first-time experiences and the excitement of discovery. Yet riddled with memories and images once lived. A vivid portrait of the past provides the lessons that lay the foundation for today. A foundation where the whole is greater than the parts, where determination and desire are intertwined with friendship, and where no one walks alone. This is the first step of a summer-long journey for 150 young adults. This is Inside BD 360. In the early stages of this competitive season, percussion caption head Scott Johnson finds himself in San Francisco, preparing for a rare performance with close friend and alumni of the Bridgman Drum and Bugle Corps, Tommy Igoe, leader of the Tommy Igoe Big Band, an immensely talented group that the Blue Devils members and staff have enjoyed visiting in previous years.
I think it's a great thing for the Blue Devil Drumline to come see this band because I think they're amazing. The entire battery and front ensemble's coming. I think most of the brass staff, most of the visual staff's coming. It's gonna be crazy.
I want to be close enough to the stage so we can see Scott in action.
And I thought I was gonna be sitting in the seats, you know, having a cocktail of some kind watching this show. And he goes, "No, we gotta do something special." We started brainstorming, and next thing I know, it's like, I'm playing.
Ready to see some jazz. I don't know, I'm just excited. Scojo and the Tommy Igoe Band.
Not sure how a rudimental snare is going to fit with this, but we had fun trying to figure it out, and it's all improv.
How's everybody doing? Are we happy? Oh, are we happy? Oh, boy. We're going to do something I don't think, if it's been done before, please show me the video, because I don't think it has. We are going to put a marching snare drum with a big band. Please welcome to the stage the one and only my buddy, Mr. Scott Johnson.
That just blew my mind. That was the coolest concert I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of concerts.
That was amazing. That blew, I didn't even understand how to put my jacket, like things didn't make sense after I walked out of that room. That blew my mind.
Scott Johnson play with Tommy was it was phenomenal. Two legends, you know. It was really cool.
We have some major projects happening this year. We're going to be starting the health and wellness program. The main thing that we're focusing on right now is evaluating all of the kids and doing some more involved physical screenings and medical screenings. So we've got 4 stations at this point. We've got their vitals as well as height and weight, blood pressure, respiratory rate, those kinds of things. And then we have 2 physical therapy stations. One is an upper body station where we're measuring range of motion, flexibility, strength. And then we have a lower body station where we're doing the same thing and then also functional tests like squats and jumping and things like that. The 4th station is basically what we would call a gait analysis, except we're doing a marching analysis. So we're having them march and perform jazz runs, and we're videotaping them so that we can sit down as professionals and look at their mechanics and figure out what muscles might be weak, what areas we need to work on. And then lastly, we're doing postural assessment. So they're going to be standing and doing a frontal plane view and then a side view and see if they're having problems with their neck or with their low back. And all of these things are going to be clues for us as to what's going on with their body. And then when we find problems or impairments, we can create training programs to help to make them better. The big push is just getting everybody evaluated. So one by one, they're running over here and we're just putting them through all these tests. And it's really exciting and the kids are actually really into it. But yeah, so far so good.
Anything with that?
No.
With the beginning of the new season comes new experiences.
Here we're having a little movie party for Fellini's 8.5.
Hope to gain a little more knowledge on kind of what our show's about.
Developing new relationships.
We're at Applebee's. We're eating color guard dinner.
Formulating new memories.
And we're in Muir Woods right now, having a good time. The beautiful redwoods of California.
No.
Oh my God, this is like the most beautiful place I've ever been.
And it is moments like these, found in unexpected places and in the presence of friends, that will define the summer to come.
Probably is going to work when you tighten it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's been just getting their shakos all throughout the rest of this rehearsal.
As you can see, they're different from they've been in past years. The popular opinion is that, wow, it's different, and it's still pretty awesome.
Cool, you guys. So after dinner, you are back from dinner at 6 o'clock. Okay, rewarm is going to start at 6:30. Tyler and a team of guys are going to go get the uniform racks. They're going to move the uniform racks over here to the shade. When you get back from dinner at 6 o'clock, you are to grab your uniform, your shoes, your Shako, all your parts that you need.
Let's take a tour of the uniform. So we have our jacket that Velcros in the front, and it has no sleeves. Where sleeves are is on here with this jacket, this shirt kind of thing. And the sleeves are attached to this, which is attached to the panel, which is pink on the inside. On the outside, it fades to black. Pretty cool.
This is the new plume this year.
Look at that.
We're just going to try to keep that open. And, add the Shako and plume on top of this. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your 2014 Blue Devils Drum and Bugle Corps uniform.
Space music has been around for a long time. I believe my dad really started to develop it in the 80s with the Blue Devils horn line. And it's become kind of a rite of passage to be a member of the Blue Devils brass section and to be a part of space music.
That is the ultimate signature warm-up for the Blue Devils.
I remember as a 16-year-old kid coming to watch Space Corps for the first time at warm-up. And it's something that is, I mean, it's the Blue Devils. You know, when anybody says Space Corps, they automatically associate that with the Blue Devils. It's something that anybody from 1980 all the way to the present all can relate to.
The last 13 or 14 years, the brass staff's really taking it on as something that ends every major regional warm-up. So it's something we don't learn till later in the season, and then when we do start to introduce it, we want to keep the liveliness and the energy of the freshness of it as we get closer towards the end of the season. So space music is made up of known hand signals that the horn line knows what to do when they're given a certain hand signal. The hand signals create different chords, different harmonies, different volumes, and from there it becomes an improvised activity. And every day it's different.
It's never the same any night. It just kind of depends exactly what it's about. Sometimes, you know, you get big audiences, and the kids as performers, they feed off that. We get a lot of people to come watch us at warm-up all the time. And if there's a large crowd, the kids usually react to that a little bit, and the music becomes a little bit more exciting, a little bit more intense.
And then it could go slower some nights when you just have that vibe and you want to draw out every moment of drama and emotion that they've got.
It's just never the same deal, but it is something that is the Blue Devils.
So we're doing the recording this year at DVC. Usually we do it at Mars, and it was a week ago, but this year we're gonna do it today, day before tour.
We're gonna try to divide the show up into five big chunks. All right, the first chunk's gonna be for the top of the show. We're gonna just do the loop once pit. We're gonna go like we usually do with the Dr. Beat. Go through the entire opener and stop. Don't do the pit transition.
It should be pretty good. I'm excited for it.
All days are pretty good, actually. We have a whole show on the field, which is a first. We usually don't have the whole show on the field. We have to keep adding on the show throughout tour, but this time we've been pretty on top of it.
And we've been learning the show. We've been going day by day by day, learning new chunks of the show. It's just kind of weird leaving here because it's been our home for the past 4 weeks.
I can't believe this is my last run through at Mars. I mean, ever? Yeah, I'm aging out. This is my last time to ever perform in this field.
Last run through at Mars ever.
So today's our last day at Mars, obviously, so we gotta clean up. Woo! Yay! Woo! So we have to clean up. We are loading all the props and everything today. That's pretty much all I got.
That was cool. It was fun watching the last Last run. You age outs, dude. That's it. It's the last time on this field.
It's just cool to be here in the moment and look at this really special place.
Carlos started this last year. It's a shoelace. All the age-outs write their name and a little message on here, and we tie it up on that fence right there, and Blue Devils that come after us can see our good messages of our last day.
And all these people that have gone through this huge growing experience here, you feel like there's a connection to it. It's a place for growing up and, you know, working on yourself. So I'm very fortunate to have had this experience.
I'm really sad it's over. This has been one of the best experiences of my entire life. Every moment here has been one that is just unforgettable.
I've been here a while and I've seen all the people who left before me go through the same thing, and I never thought that it would be my turn so soon. It's surreal. I'm gonna miss everything about it.
The buses are arriving. Everybody's getting ready to get on the bus. Get ready to head to Madera for our first stop on tour. It's kind of a little chaotic getting everybody organized, but we're excited to get on the road.
This is a ukulele. I bring it on tour to keep things chill. And that's it. That's it.
With the days of Mars now behind them, the members of the Blue Devils find themselves ready to embark on their summer tour. 2 months of life were packed into suitcases and loaded onto buses.
This is the bus list, and it says where we're sitting on the bus.
Welcome to the Funliner.
Apples.
And while this is a time for their last goodbyes, it's not quite a hello to their new home just yet.
We just boarded the temporary Funliner for 2014. It's not going to be the permanent one, but it'll do for now.
We're starting on these other buses, which aren't the Muskingum buses that we're used to. So it's a little weird because we don't have the bus drivers we're used to.
It's always kind of a little bit surreal because we just kind of left our all-day site and, you know, our homes and families for some of us. And this is our first time really on the road, so, you know, tour has actually started. The season started.
The most important rule. What happens on the bus stays on the bus.
1, 2, and 1, 2.
With the tour underway and a full show already on the field, the Blue Devils begin the early season routine of changes, additions, and definitions.
We got like all the staff here today. It's awesome. We're changing a bunch of stuff, adding a bunch of choreography and stuff.
Jamie's out here, Jay Murphy's out here, and they're all working together with the rest of the staff, trying to put together something that's going to really make the beginning sparkle.
Hey, second diagonal, come to me really fast, chop chop. What I want you guys to do, as soon as you back out of that, I want you to do this. Moving towards your diagonal, grab the rope, pull them, pull them, pull them, you got it? So whichever way, we're pulling them this way, and this way, and this way. Do you see the weight energy I'm using? Give it a shot.
This is where the big picture becomes more detailed, where broad brushstrokes become finer and finer.
Trying to add some characterization to when we pass through the platforms, we set up the parade block, and we pull them through, make it a little less regal, a little bit more characterized, fit the theme of the show a little bit more.
A lot of it's acting like we're on a film set, or like so moving around props, or like pointing out things that are wrong on stages and stuff like that.
We're doing a lot of different contortions with the body. There's a lot of circus themes in the show. Yeah, so I know John John's kind of trying to incorporate a lot of those contortionistic sort of like body shapes as we go throughout the show.
It is an open process between the staff and performers that helps exhibit the talent on the field, while bringing depth to the existing framework.
They gotta get out of the way. I don't know, slow motion might be, maybe they do the roll and that diagonal run.
Maybe. You got the lasso around them, you're pulling them. Wait, you guys are reacting. You're being pulled as you come out, make sense? Don't worry about getting your horns yet. Get your spots first. We'll deal with horns in just a moment.
It's really creative, it's really organic, so the process just goes very smoothly for the members. It's very nice.
This is the first real bus ride of the season. Last night we had different buses that were from Concord.
But here we finally have our own Muskingum Coach Company buses. We have our driver back who knows us, so we can be a little bit more of our true selves.
Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Intruder alert!
And so 2 days into tour, the members begin the summer in their new home. A send-off without waving spectators may seem strange, but for the Blue Devils, it isn't, because the real farewell was only 4 days prior. A farewell from the entire Blue Devil family at the annual celebration known to all as Family Day.
Our Blue Devil Family Day, so where all the B Corps, C Corps, and A Corps come together. And it's a really big congregation of all Blue Devil family, alumni, and it's the most amazing thing I've ever experienced in my life. We have little C Corps kids just look up to us, the A Corps members, as heroes, and it just gives me a feeling that I've never felt before, being someone's hero.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in the C Corps, you don't, when you see their music and you see what they play, it's really like awe-inspiring, it's pretty amazing. And then when you're in the C Corps, you're saying, I really want to be like them. And then you strive and strive and strive until you get there.
So the C Corps just performed their show, and B Corps is about to perform right now. We saw them at Memorial Day camp, and they were looking good then, and now they're wearing their uniform, and I know they've gotten better.
It was emotional. It was fun. It was nice to talk to all the C Corps and the B Corps kids and see how much they look up to us.
Just the unity and the reminder that the Blue Devils is so much bigger than yourself. It's this giant organization, and just such an incredible sight to see, just youth all around and how traditions are growing and staying, and it's beautiful.
In every conceivable manner, family is the link to our past and the bridge to our future. A symbol that binds young to the history that came before them. Family Day is a celebration of that link, a day for all of the Blue Devil generations. And as these members begin to embark on their journey for the summer, Family Day is a reminder of the endless support of an organization that has influenced thousands of young minds, hearts, and souls.
Santa Barbara.
Are we? Okay. My free day is gonna be awesome. Going to the movies?
Enjoying a free day in nice downtown Santa Barbara.
Woo! When you come back tonight, you come down State Street and you turn left at the end of State Street, and that's where the buses are. These buses roll at 10:30. Got it? Roger. The Ocean's on your left. Have a nice evening.
With the summer tour well underway, the fantastic and surreal elements of the Blue Devils production, Fellini-esque, continues to evolve. What was once a bare-bones composite finds itself adding detail by creating a visual and emotional narrative that captures the delight and whimsy of the Italian filmmaker's work. Part of that storytelling is embodied through the color guard, a crucial artistic element that allows the audience to understand the story of this year's show. Incredible performers assigned with a challenging task of portraying actors who are also in the middle of acting.
As far as the show goes, it's a very new concept. It's like we're doing a show about film.
It's about movies. They have a runway, they have lights, all that stuff. But on a deeper level, it really is a tribute to Fellini.
There are different energies through different parts of the show.
We get to go through so many different character changes, from the opener to the ballad to like drum breaks to the closer.
It's odd. One moment it's religious, the next it's kind of whatever you want to call Fellini's fantasy, and then back to the religion, and then I don't know, it's mystical.
As performers, it's our job to kind of deliver that story through our performance, you know.
Don't just be Marcus doing color guard, be Marcus being Fellini doing color guard.
Definitely my favorite part of the show is the Be Italian part after Act 3. Right after we come down from the tables, the girls and the boys start to unzip, you know, show a little bit more skin. It's a little more sensual, a little more edgy, and that's not a character you get to portray a lot.
We're somewhat very seductive in that part, and we're really in the audience. It's somewhat difficult for the color guard because we have to, for the girls, we're doing the tambourines, everything, having to keep in time with the drums and the horns and the pit and everything.
We have a really cool rifle feature part. We know, okay, yeah, they're totally watching the girls, but the rifle work is so fun. Like, we just love performing that part. It's like, it starts off with like a backhand and then like a catch behind our back, a quad catch at 45 and then land flat, and then it all ends with a really like hardcore 7 when the chorus shouts, hey. You know, and then brings us into the next act. But that whole part, even though the girls are on their tambourine part and we know that the audience is watching them, we love performing that part because that's a lot of rifle spins.
My favorite part of the show would have to be personally the ballad.
The part where Loette and Patrick are coming down the runway and the whole color guard is at the end of the runway. It's the end of the ballad and we're kind of reaching towards them as Loette starts to hug Patrick, you know.
Loette is somewhat his guardian, and at the end she like wraps her arms around him to let him know that it's okay and somebody is there for him.
And he's sort of this sad clown part, and it's his emotion and he's the focus, but as a guard we're portraying that same emotion kind of through him.
Doing the ballad and all that beautiful movement that we have and how quirky it is, and being a puppet and moving in slow motion, that's what I really enjoy.
That whole ballad has a lot of powerful, you know, soft energy, but then at the very end it changes character, gets a little bit I would say a little less uncomfortable almost.
By the end of the summer, I just want to feel more confident, not only in my spinning, but just in general, in life.
The end goal for us is to make ourselves better, to push ourselves and our own limits.
We got some from chow mein and some orange chicken. Zoom in on this. Zoom in.
I got some bushing tonight, courtesy of Ted Chang and his family from Pasadena. It's great. As you can see, it's all gone.
Was it good?
Nothing like it. Was
everything
amazing.
you dreamed of?
It was everything I dreamed
It's the first
of
thing
and
I've ever
more.
had. Really?
Best post-show meal ever.
The noodles were the best. What are you funny
Yeah.
about Blue Devils?
Get some bushing.
One of the recent mainstays of the Southern California portion of the tour are the System Blue educational camps. This year, over 200 campers ventured to Grand Terrace High School, eager to learn from some of the best and brightest Blue Devils alumni in the areas of brass, color guard, leadership, and percussion.
We're going to spend a lot of time drumming. We're going to spend a little time hanging around with the Blue Devils. We're going to drum some more. Then we're going to go see a drum corps show.
Welcome to the Blue Devil family for the weekend.
The System Blue Camp gives you an experience that you'll never find anywhere else. A lot of times in a high school or middle school marching band program, you don't really understand what goes on in the drum corps professional world until you see it firsthand.
More importantly, the camps present an opportunity for educators to take this information to their own programs, as well as provide a solid foundation for those students who one day wish to join the Blue Devils organization.
Well, in 2009, that was my first year coming to System Blue camps. I came to the Mid-Cal Sean Glide Drum School. That was really my first real life exposure to the Blue Devils, and I thought it was really cool. So in 2011, I also learned the snare book, and I wanted to play it with them, so I transcribed it and played it with them. That was the first time I got to see all those people that I had only seen on YouTube, and it was really, really inspiring and really incredible for me. It was pretty crazy getting to play with them earlier on, because that's sort of weird, and it's really incredible how kind Scott and all the instructors and all the members here are, that they would let younger players come up and play with them. Now being a member of the snare line and seeing the System Blue campers, it's kind of weird, but it's also really encouraging and really great to see all these young people coming out to the camps. I would say that one of the best things that someone who comes to a System Blue camp can do is really just soak up all the information and really just enjoy the experience, and definitely use that in sort of motivating yourself and driving towards becoming better.
What's the name of the game? Thumper. How do you play? Gotta thump it like this.
So the lights turned off about 10 minutes ago, so we're improvising a rehearsal right now, cleaning up some stuff since we have time that we can't be marching. It's pretty cool. It's pretty dark.
Yeah, we were looking at the stars. The battery's doing some sectional stuff.
The sleepers got kind of bored because the lights went out, and Christy just brought up this fun game, Thumper, and you make up your own pose. It was a lot of fun because we didn't know what to do and we had nothing to do, so it was a lot of fun.
We're on the bus ride on the way to the RCC show.
Yeah, there's probably more alumni and people watching us than there are members. It's really awesome.
It's time to go!
RCC warm-up. The most scary, the lot. It's gonna be fun.
I've watched the lot 5 years. I've never been in it. I'm glad that I'm on the other side this time.
Let's go left.
Stoked for the RCC show. It's going to be a really good show. I'm really grateful to have been a part of this organization and have my last RCC show with the Blue Devils. This is Caleb Birdsong signing out.
We all have to remember that those in uniform and those in not tonight are not only Blue Devils, but members of the line. You're the best looking tuba section. Oh yeah. The best sounding tuba section in GCM.
For me, it's a recalibration. It's like, this is where I come home, and I work in a real intense industry. I come back here and I just remember where I started.
What drives us to do the impossible? Is it a thought? A belief? Or is it a spark of passion that starts with each person? A transformation that turns desire into action and dreams into reality. And as the Blue Devils earn their send-off from former alumni in their last California show, a new chapter lies on the horizon, exploring the uncharted frontiers of artistic ambition, seeking to create a legacy that will stand the test of time.
"2014, the first time since I've started with the Blue Devils that I can't spend the entire summer with the Blue Devils. I just have other stuff that I can't get away for the entire summer this year. Luckily, I've been able to come out here and train my replacement, Mr. Marvin Reed. Reed? Is it Reed or Reeve? Reed. 1, 2, now 10 jumping jacks, go. This will be the first person to take over the job since I did in 2008, which is 7 years ago, and it's a long time.
Taking on this job, I got big shoes to fill.
I was able to get out here for a week, train him as hard as I can, work him to the bone. There's any number of things that I could impart upon a pupil in relation to this job. Water, Gatorade, anything relating to the food truck, and probably the most important thing is how to be an awesome person, which involves thinking ahead, anticipating, having forethought, and knowing at least 3 different ways to say the same word. Hopefully, I've trained him well, and he'll be able to do a great job. The core is his to water to his heart's content for the rest of the season.
I'm gonna take what he has and just put some soul into everything that I'm doing. So I'm just gonna have a blast with it.
It was crazy, you know, we spent 36 hours on the bus in 3 days.
3 long bus rides in a row all the way from Southern California. What's so tough about it is you have to come off and sleep and then wake up and rehearse, and it's just bang, 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 you have to go.
So they give us time to, get that bus body,
like rust off, so we could maximize our potential.
It's really all about just staying in it, and then when it's time to go, you know, be mentally aware and think through things.
I mean, the course taking is really good actually. You know, we're all focused. We're all, you know, trying to get, you know, better. You know, because we only have so much time.
You got to be consistent. We can't dip down in the energy. Everyone has to keep pushing together, right?
Right. A little tired, but it's a show day. Gotta keep the hype up.
We were in SoCal forever, and now we're all the way in, where are we? Iowa?
No, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
We're in Wisconsin.
Second show outside of California. We're at Cedar something, Wisconsin.
We're in Cedarsburg.
I mean, it's been a long few days with like all the traveling and the kind of late nights spent up with sleep on the bus. But I feel good. Like I can feel an improvement from day to day, which is it's always good. So.
I love small shows. It shows a show no matter who else is there. We're always here to put on the best show we can and do what we do.
The PD Front Ensemble, I feel like, is kind of the face of the Corps because they're right in the front. You know, we don't wear shakos. We kind of are like the first thing that people get to see when they watch us perform.
The Front Ensemble is a lot of the special effects and a lot of certain concert ideas that you can't really get out of a normal brass instrument. You can do a lot of like synthetic sounds that can really support the horns.
I remember seeing the Blue Devils for the first time and really seeing like the raw emotion and performance that they really expressed. And I remember I really wanted to be a part of that. And being in the ensemble is just so much fun because there's so much passion and performance, and we just have a lot of fun.
Perfect. Most of our time is just spent in sectionals or subsectionals, learning new exercises, just like playing. We just do music the whole time. Just play music the whole summer. It's really fun.
Ever since All Days, we've been with each other a lot. We actually all stayed at the same house. It's really important to make sure that everyone's connected so that the ensemble can play well together.
We always have to think as one. And that's kind of hard, but whenever you really get into the show, thinking as one unit isn't really difficult. It's almost natural.
Ready? And break.
America. DJ, what's wrong with you? We don't do that.
Yeah.
We have a lot of moments in the show that like really show our strengths. Not just with fast runs, but also very like musical and technical things.
It's very different. It's very dynamic as far as emotions and as far as technical playing and what we have to do from side to side and lighting up front to back.
My favorite part of the show is in the ballad.
There's not exactly a tempo. The horn line behind us is playing whole tones with chord changes every now and then the pit is basically the melodic line, in a sense, filling it in with like lots of harmonics and different runs and stuff, just being really beautiful. And then on top of that, you have to use a soft mallet, and you can't really hear the articulation. So you have to use your eyes a lot more by checking in and then making sure things are lined up just by using your eyes instead of your ears. It's really like easy to connect to the ballad because the music is just really like flowing.
And I just love making beautiful sounds there and just really trying to express warm and a full-bodied emotion.
In the closer, we have an Achel section with the battery. That's something that we've never really done here in the past.
That's definitely the hardest part of the show.
Just really making sure that the attack lines up, because we're going into it like as a cold attack.
We're going off of 2 duts that we can't even hear behind us because the crowd claps so much and it's so loud, and we have to line it up with the drum line that's completely backfield. And we all look into the center for Cheyenne, and then she does a prep for us, and then we all have to hone in on those 2 beats that she gives us. It's just click, click, in.
This year is just, everyone just gets along so well.
I feel like everyone really works together to make sure that it goes as smoothly as possible.
I love the people that I'm around because they're just such amazing people, and there's so many variants in personalities.
Just being here with this group of people like makes me the happiest person.
So this is the beginning of our free day on the 4th of July.
Happy 4th, America!
Bye, County Fair!
Stop, I'm not supposed to be in the actual. No.
For America, happy 40th. Yeah.
Just about to play for some cool high schoolers. About to throw it down. They're gonna show us some stuff. We're gonna show them some stuff. So it's gonna be fun.
It's basically it's a high school marching band from Oregon, Wisconsin. That competes in a summer circuit called MACVDA. So it's basically a competitive high school marching band that tours in the summer. You know, much like a drum corps, but it's all high schoolers. For the last few years at the Whitewater Drum Corps Show, we've tried to organize a night lot. This is the first time Blue Devils have been to the show in a long time, so we really wanted to get in touch. I mean, obviously, if you're a drummer, especially if you're a high school drummer or a drummer involved in the marching arts, Blue Devils are like as big a heroes as these kids have. To be able to get up close and personal and see the way they not just play but interact with each other, it's really exciting for the kids. And I think for a lot of them, they never get to be right next to the sound either. It's just a really awesome opportunity. It's like get to drum with the Blue Devils for one night.
An integral part of any corps is the drumline, the rhythmic engine that supplies the raw and emotional energy that drives each production. Their tireless work ethic and particular attention to detail requires an inhuman level of focus and endurance.
Kind of everyday life as a member of the Blue Devils drumline, it's very demanding, to say the least.
For us, it's a lot of drumming. We drum all day.
We work really hard, get beat up a lot, you know, really striving to work for that same goal all together.
It's better to match our sound with someone different than we normally stand next to. Basically, everyone has a different touch to the snare drum. Everyone plays a little bit differently to the head, so it's kind of nice to see how different people play so that you can have an overall better concept of how the line plays together.
While this part of the ensemble is responsible for maintaining the tempo of the show, the Blue Devils drum line is widely known for its musical prowess and highly skilled rhythmic acrobatics, punctuated by an innovative display of talent that is both astounding and awe-inspiring all at once.
The Blue Devils drum line is about playing notes on top of notes and just seeing like how much we can push the envelope, not just about like what we're playing, but the physical demand we put on top of what we're doing.
We have a lot of demanding sections in the drill according to what the formation actually is, so like the listening situation changes a lot. The opener of the show, we have a drum feature right from the get-go, super fast, making our way to the front of the field.
It starts off with this crazy bass break that the basses are just splitting all kinds of notes.
And they're in the front of the form, and so it's up to the guys in the back to kind of take that tempo, and then we come in with the shot on 4-and, and that's probably one of the hardest attacks to get, is that 4-and. It's because we're listening to the bass drum sound in front of us, and then we have to go with the duts behind us.
And then we weave in between the bass drums as they go backfield, and we come in, we just start playing a whole bunch of 16th notes.
And then after that, we have this halted section. There's rim, rim, 3, 3, 3, 3, and still just 16th notes with different sticking.
And to add on top of that difficulty, as always, we add in moving our bodies.
And that kind of changes the sound just a little bit too. So we really need to be nails on tempo and nails on listening back. And then it finally ends with this big roll, shat, doom, 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 and then it's just high notes, high sticking, play through the head, and finally finish with a stick toss through the drum, you know, head up to the audience, look back, charge back field.
This year we have this intense quad feature that happens right at the end of the second movement. Everything's sort of musically winding down, and the quads sort of have this little moment, this last little flash before the end of it. We all come in and we have these cold attack rolls where one guy plays, and then the next guy adds on top of that, and then the first guy comes out, and then another guy adds on top of that, and then we all halt. And then we sort of wind it down rhythmically, and we start to do a little bit of a slowdown right to the end of a phrase, where we play and then we have a little flip, and then there's a little ding from the pit right at the end of it.
So the sequence on the stage, everyone has all their own stick tricks, and again, from an audience perspective, you may not know what's going on. But what Andrew does at the very beginning, before he's even on the stage, he takes his stick and he just throws it as high as he possibly can. And then we got Brandon, he kind of sets the tempo, does this little stick flip thing when he plays some eighth notes on the drum head. And then Sean and Zeem get up there and they do a little stick juggling act. And in the meantime, Kaito's on there and he's just balancing one stick on top of another stick. I come up and I do a little stick flash thing where I throw the stick, and then I throw the stick with my left hand up into the air, and then I catch it with my right. Adam comes on last, and he does this thing where he sweeps his stick under his leg and catches it behind his head. And then right after that, it's just, Brandon has this pickup, one, buzz, biggity, biggity, ba, and then it's just snare break time. overall personality of the drumline.
We know how to get down to business, and then when we're off the field, eating or just hanging out, we know how to have fun.
We just try and relax, and we don't get too much in each other's faces, and we try and just have fun.
You gotta make sure you eat healthy. That baby.
We all want to get to the same end goal, and no one wants to make someone else feel bad. So we'll kind of use that sense of humor that we have to kind of keep our spirits up while at the same time, you know, trying to get the book cleaner through that.
Characters are the beating heart of any film. But a 12-minute drum corps production isn't enough to provide a concise backstory for the members of the Blue Devils in Fellini-esque. The solution? A pre-show sequence where the members transform into someone else entirely through an intriguing collage of sound and motion that is similar to being on set during the opening moments of one of Fellini's movies.
We kind of get to become our own character, and we get to put that into the show. They gave us a kind of like guidelines for something to stay within, but coming up with your own character, that's all on you. I run out of the form and I start to do some hip-hop dancing and a little bit of moonwalk in there. That all came to be when we were all just hanging out on the field, learning new stuff to the show. And then the baseball field that was right next to us ended up playing some music, and we all started to jam out to it, and we were all just doing a bunch of dance moves. And then one of our drill designers came up to me and was just like, "Hey, what was that dance move that you were doing?" And so then I started to do the shuffle and the T-step and all that stuff. So then he's just like, "Yeah, do that, I like that, it makes me laugh, so just put that in the show." So what we're trying to put into the pre-show is that we're all on a movie set. So some of the characters that we have come up with are someone going around kind of like with a snapshot view. So there's a couple people that are pushing blocks or some sort of inanimate object to make it look like they're moving something around on the backstage. So there's people just pulling ropes, people that are just looking at the time just to make sure that they're on time. We have people changing light bulbs. They'll just reach up and see that something's broken, or somebody will point it out to them, then they'll go over and change the light bulb for them. All these things are just things that go on just on the backstage of a movie set.
It seems fitting then that the world of film and drum corps are strangely familiar, both requiring their cast and creators to work as a cohesive unit in order to achieve each goal at the highest degree. And this group of 150 young men and women seek to transform the field into a stage where dreams come true. A performance where the magic of cinema and drum corps merge as one. And as they perfect this transformation, the members continue to write the script of their journey that is not just worth watching, but worth living.
We're about to perform for some TOC show people. You know, we're gonna play music and stuff.
We're gonna play Happy by Pharrell for some people in a couple minutes. And say hey to the fans and thank them for coming out to see us. It's really fun to get up close and personal with people instead of like, you know, really far away from them like we are when we play the show.
Oh yeah.
Beyond its characters and musical genres, what exactly is this year's show, Fellini-esque? The three-act structure of the production matches that of a three-act movie. Fellini's Religion, Fellini's Circus, and Fellini's fantasy serve as a broad outline for the multitude of genres and styles that the corps adopts in its favor. Each section works perfectly in tandem with the other, establishing a concise musical and visual narrative, littered with memorable characters and melodies that further outline the influence of Fellini's work, from its dramatic opening moments to its triumphant conclusion.
Our show begins with a lot of choreography from the members. They're sort of acting as backstage characters, preparing to start the show.
And in the opening set, we have the entire corps set up on a ghost movie stage. The forms on the field look like projector films rolling, so the movie is starting.
Performing their 2014 program, Fellini Dance, Drum Corps International is proud to present the Blue Devils.
And then we start with this opening trumpet fanfare that's basically saying, the show is here, we have arrived, this is the beginning.
Like you would announce a king, kind of announcing something very important. And they're center field playing this fanfare, and it's a brilliant way to start the show. It really just adds to the excitement.
Once we finish the fanfare, we move into a more Mahler segment. It's dark and it's heavy, it's aggressive and it's driving.
And they end again in another projector reel set, 2 circles that are just going around, like we saw in the beginning of the act. It kind of makes the act come full circle. At the end of Act 1, the pit breaks into this kind of little happy circus theme, a waltz. All the marching members break and they start skipping and leaping and running in a scatter form. And they each have their own individual character. You can watch the show 100 times and find a different person every single show, and they're doing something unique.
Even if it's just one-handed, and you do one of these, and then the balloon can take you away again.
Right.
But create more shapes.
Right.
You know, we want to see like big long lines and then leaning into it.
Okay.
You know, you're pulling resistance, and then it takes you. You know, stuff like that.
At the end of my bell is a balloon. I'm supposed to be being yanked by it, by the wind. It's taking me away. So if I can make somebody believe that the end of my bell is a balloon taking me away, it's blurring the lines between imagination and reality, which is what part of our show concept. So you take a look around everybody doing the scatter. It's really based around what you can imagine them doing instead of actually seeing them with a balloon or actually seeing them with a cane or something. It's blurring that line.
And a euphonium solo, Matt Biesca starts playing. It's actually the love theme from Fellini's movie La Strada. Meanwhile, 2 members are slowly walking down the platform. One is acting like a broken clown. He's being followed by another member holding a very large black umbrella. And the color guard's doing a bunch of beautiful dance work as couples. It's a love theme, it only makes sense. And the ballad is just beautiful, absolutely gorgeous, melts your heart, which is interesting to see a broken person who might be lonely or sad right next to this absolutely beautiful love theme.
We continue on, again, you know, just an instant mood shift. That's kind of what we tend to see throughout the entire production. And we're now continuing on with basically what seems like circus music.
They only play the circus for a little bit, and then they all of a sudden smack you in the face with jazz.
We actually had some music written by Gordon Goodwin himself.
Just fun jazz tune that no one else has ever played before. It's just written for us. They play it incredibly well.
First time in my career, late in the career, I got asked to write some music for this fine organization. Even though some of my previous material has been adapted for this genre, this is the first time I've had a chance to take the pencil to the paper and create something. It's a collaborative medium. So you've got the way it's staged and the way everything else, the pit and everything is combined with it. It's kind of a new organic thing, and it's a few steps removed from what it was in my head when I wrote it. So that was fascinating for me and really enjoyable.
This is our way of just being able to get loud and in your face, something that people can tap their foot to all the way to the end of the second movement.
And we go into Act 3, Fellini's Fantasy. We play a song called Be Italian, which is from the musical 9. It was an homage to Fellini's movie 8½. And it's kind of sounds like a little Italian oompa band. Definitely a very different character than the circus we had before.
That again is just one constant ramp up of emotion as we charge forward with this dance. It's light and playful at first, and then kind of gets a little heavier and heavier, and it basically just jumps up and runs right to the finish and finishes with the famous "Hey!" We continue on with a drum feature. Marking the end of the drum break, there's a very definitive, quick second break, and then we cut to the front ensemble. People are hustling around again. You see all these drill forms. There's a lot going on, a lot of stuff to see, a lot of excitement, and that basically sets us up for the next mood change, where we form this large diagonal that pushes towards the corner.
And they're actually playing music from the end credits of Fellini's movie La Strada.
When we reach the ending, what we are trying to portray is this is the closing scene. You know, we're past the climax, so just in the resolution, reaching to the end. Basically run right to the front, they stand in some files, pop their horns up, and they scream real loud in your face and say, "This is it, ta-da."
And the color guard actually brings up a director's chair. And at the end they turn it around and it says Fellini. So it's a brilliant end for a brilliant director.
At this point in the season, only a few weeks remain, but the Corps continues to hit its stride, developing the complex and intricate world of Fellini-esque through deep characterization and the determination to hold true to the Blue Devils' legacy. A legacy that thrives on personal excellence, but also pays tribute to an innovative and fearless filmmaker whose work reflects that of the Corps' own storied history, devising productions that push the envelope in ways never thought possible, and turning the world of drum corps into something far more poignant and affecting. Art imitating life, on and off the field.
Very thankful Now Marcus is cutting my hair.
I'm a saint.
He's the best hair cutter in this corps.
It's like watching Picasso paint a masterpiece. It's just watching a master truly in his element. It's amazing.
I usually just do what people ask me, because everybody wants to look like Macklemore right now. But if they don't, then I just make them look like Macklemore on my own. Okay, I'm gonna go on the wide side.
Yeah, and then we'll shave it down. Yeah.
I do a lot of things for money. Haircuts is not a thing I do for money. I don't like taking money from my friends. I just like, I don't know, when I cut people's hair, we get to like spend time talking about nothing. See for me, an inside BD 360. All right, whatever, go look at it, make sure it looks fashion.
Wait, can you film this down?
Next!
Does everybody mezzo forte crescendo then fortissimo? Okay, except for mellows, right? Mellows you guys can reset.
In exploring the world of Fellini, it is easy to become absorbed by the emotionally driven soundtrack, a task that is carried by the Blue Devils horn line. Consisting of the most members within the corps, they are the assortment of sonorous voices that breathe life into the production, while simultaneously juggling a considerable set of visual responsibilities.
The horn line is like the cake. It's the fattest, biggest section of the drum corps.
We provide a lot of the music responsibilities. We're responsible for relaying Dave Glide and Wayne Downey's musical ideas to the audience.
This oral cavity, its vowel sound, it's also in relationship to your emotional state. You're a little bit more relaxed and less constricted. Recall that back every time you perform it. It's easy, really, but you just got to have a great. That was a great. So remember what that felt like and do that again.
The horn line changes year to year. So many vets in the low brass, so much talent. Even the rookies, they're super talented, and the show has so much potential.
As the show changes, the horn line melds to fit what's going on that year. I feel like this year the horn line is just, it's amazing, right? Everybody gets along. As the show gets more quirky and weird and fun, we are also quirky and weird and fun.
You're doing this is happening.
It's on camera too.
This is
Phenomenal people, phenomenal staff. It's just fantastic to work with these people every single day.
With the likes of Danny Elfman, Gordon Goodwin, Nino Rota, and Maury Yeston on the Blue Devils repertoire, it's no surprise that the staff recognizes the talent within the 2014 horn line, a collective of skilled musicians that are as diverse as the musical genres they refine across the season. A demanding challenge in itself, given the stylistic shifts that occur at any given moment.
One of the most difficult things about this show is the amount of style changes that we have. Within the matter of 1 minute, we go from playing this big brass chorale at the end of the ballad, and the very next thing we play is a circus lick, and then seconds after that, we're in a big band. With the big brass chorale, it's really heavy and really emotional, and really trying to portray this to the audience. And within a matter of seconds, I have to completely change my mood, and now I'm thinking light and happy and airy, and I'm trying to portray this to the audience. And then all of a sudden, a few seconds later, I'm in this big band mode, and now I have to completely change the style of my articulation, my note lengths and things like that. To be able to do it on a whim is pretty difficult. At the beginning of our show this year, is one of the longest trumpet features I've ever heard in any drum corps show.
I guess we're really making a statement this year with putting the mellophones on trumpets and having a full 40 trumpet line with that opening fanfare.
People that don't normally play the trumpet, getting them to play the trumpet, completely different instrument than what they're normally playing on. For them to sound as good as they're sounding, it's quite incredible.
Not a day goes by where we don't work on that section. You know, that's always, when we break up into sectionals, that's always the first thing we have to hit.
Somebody in here is crescendoing too soon and tonguing too hard. It's all tenuto, yes?
The 40 trumpets at the beginning of the show are about to wrap our fanfare at the very beginning. Get better at that. So.
It's that time where we need to go ahead and start getting into every single individual. Okay, that's what we need to do. There's 40 of you and there's 2 of us, and we got to get in there. That's the way it has to be. So today, for the analogy is this: we're lifting up the couch, seeing what's under there. Accountability. Okay, accountability. We're lifting up the couch and seeing what is under there.
Starts with the lead trumpets, and then it goes on down to the rest of the section, and eventually you just have this wall of trumpets.
As the fanfare progresses, you know, the intervals get harder and harder to hit. It's easy to frack a note, and we're right there on the front sideline, so it could be a pretty high stressful situation.
Aside from the meticulous attention to every musical and visual nuance, the horn line also incorporates extensive training to strengthen an action in which we unconsciously engage in every day: breathing.
So the Breathing Gym is a group of exercises that were written by Pat Sheridan and Sam Palafian to help stretch and train our lungs as well as our flow pattern. So one of the exercises we do is called E to O, where we like a really scratchy, we go E to the vowel sound of E all the way to nice open O. And other exercises incorporate stretching. 5-15-5 is used to help feel uncomfortable with a lot of air in our lungs while we're moving in awkward positions. So you breathe in for 5 counts, get completely full, and then you stretch and move your body and sip for the next 15. So your body is like at its fullest capacity ever, and then you breathe it out for 5 counts, all the way until you're completely empty. Another exercise to help with that is, it's a shorter version of that. So we'll do 4 in, 4 out, and we have a special monitor. So we want to make sure we hear a nice open shape, and we want to feel the wind on our hand. And then sometimes we'll take that one even longer. So we'll do in for 4, out for 8, and that way when we're playing our horn, it's just like we're on the field. So we might have 4 counts to take a breath, but we have to play for the next 8 counts, or we have 2 counts to take a breath, but we have to play for the next 10 counts, or you get an 8th note rest and you got to play for the next 11.5 counts. So we change it up to make sure that we cover all scenarios that we would occur while marching on the field.
As the final act of this season nears, members confront the challenges of performance and the unique relationship to the outdoor stage. Movement, the breath, notes on a page. Once mutually exclusive events now become the integrated components of a greater story. One that illustrates that our better selves can best be discovered through the art of collaboration. Ultimately welcoming us to the true definition of cinema.
Welcome to Extreme Sports with the Pit.
1, yeah,
we're getting
2, 3.
This is our first rained out rehearsal. This is the Blue Devils Front Ensemble. This is what we do.
No, you're good.
Yeah!
We're covered in.
This went from the worst day to like the best day in a matter of
Wait. Seconds.
Josh,
You're going so slow.
While the crowd witnesses the musical feats accomplished by the members of each show, there are many people behind the scenes that make the Blue Devils national tour a reality. The administrators, the drivers, and the kitchen crew, a collective of hardworking individuals that prove that all branches of Drum Corps have their fair share of responsibilities, especially when handling the task of transporting and feeding nearly 200 bodies each summer.
It's pretty much a year-round thing because we always know that we're going to have the next year coming up, start anticipating where we might be going, what sort of facilities we might need, so we're always constantly looking forward.
My first duty is to take care of the members and make sure they're as healthy and taken care of as possible. My second duty is to make sure the environment for everybody on the road allows them to do their jobs to the best of their ability.
We are kind of planning the day for the staff and the kids 24 hours, 7 days a week, so it doesn't stop.
The Drum Corps rolls in and we get them onto the gym floor as soon as we can. A couple hours later, the cooks are up and stirring.
So if the Corps is up at 8, we are up at 6. We do breakfast and lunch and dinner and a snack.
The members get up and we start heading towards the field. Meanwhile, then the drivers are starting to wake up and are determining if we have to get fuel done, if there's anything that needs to be repaired that day so we can get out of town the next night. I'm on the phone already to the next site ahead of us. And then, when all's said and done and we have dinner, then we're loading up and heading to the show that night to start the whole process over again.
We decided to do like early morning community service for the snare line. Create a little humility, and give ourselves some perspective at this time of year, because this is the kind of time of the season where people get a little kind of antsy to get home. You start getting a little short-tempered and things like that, and sometimes a little perspective goes a long way.
I cook a lot at home, so you know.
Now you feel like you're at home.
It's not bad.
Not just, show our love to the food staff, but show our love to the Corps, and just make sure it helps get everybody out of their funk, to be honest with you, man. It's just been a good time.
Step around.
All the hard work and labor, the finished product.
We have over 40 adults at any one time while we're on tour, comprised of our cooks, drivers, medical personnel, the management team, merchandise, our souvenir personnel. All of those people come on to manage those roles and take care of it, make sure that everything works smoothly and runs smoothly.
We are hand washing our uniforms today. Freshen them up. To be honest, they stink.
This kid right here can march because look at all that. Sweat. That's just sweat. The process here is we take the really stinky uniforms from over there, we bring them over to this tub right here. We have OxyClean in it. So this is our pre-soak. We transfer these over into our other bucket, that's our wash bucket, which has a little bit of Dawn dishwashing liquid and some Downy fabric softener. We run that through really quick, and then we take it over to the rack over there where Brian Howard rinses them very thoroughly, and then we hang them up and we put them over on this fence to air dry. Hopefully when we're finished with this, that they will smell really good.
Well, it's odd. I see the same kind of people every year with the Blue Devils. I see kids that are committed and passionate about what they do.
This year's been awesome. We've just had a really great group of people, and everybody's just had a really good time. Well, we like to laugh and have a good time, so it's been awesome. This particular year has been wonderful.
I think tour has been crazy, as it always is, but honestly, I think the management team has handled it really well. We've been well trained. We were trained by the best, by Pete Emmons. He's really the godfather of this activity and this drum corps. He's kind of set a standard of excellence and a care for the kids.
And it seems everybody with the Blue Devil organization is committed to how important it is that the members have a great experience, that they have a learning experience and an enjoyable experience.
It's fun to be a part of something as special as the Blue Devils.
The activity, I mean, it's the greatest activity for kids that I can even imagine.
The Italian dinner is when all the girls in the color guard are sitting around the tables and the drumline is doing their thing on the table while we're just dancing and banging on the table and making all these characters around them pretty much. At first we're kind of angry and then we read our script around the table and then we start having a conversation with each other. For the part when we look like we're talking, I usually say something to Caitlin and then she usually says something to me, and so that whole time I'm just thinking about what I'm going to say to her.
After the ballad, we all reach towards the guard soloist, and then it kind of transforms into this big circus theme, and everyone's kind of in a quirky, broken, bent position, and it slowly morphs into this solid drill set, and it kind of ripples through all the way until we put our horns up and play this big circus hit. First, I start by kind of like having my arms up, like big monkey arms, and I drag my legs, and then I do kind of like a high step, snap up into position. I think it's supposed to be kind of light and whimsical, kind of an insight into Fellini's mind as a movie designer. You know, he likes the surreal kind of blends between reality and surreality.
And I break out and I do this little vis solo right behind the pit. And I do a couple Sinead turns and do a little drop spin, and then I get up, shove my foot up into the air, then I run over to the camera. So it's looking at the guard during their little tap dancing moment, and I look through it, do a little connection up to the audience, and run back into the form room.
My favorite part is the ending. It feels like such a solid, powerful ending. I really like the music. It's fun to play, it's fun to march.
So at the end of the show, I'm at the back of the 50, pulling him, doing like a little bit of a slow motion, pulling motion. So similar to the one that the horn line does in the opener. The horn line has accents on 2 and 6, so I'm accenting those motions on 2 and 6, giving like a little like breath and pull, and across the 50, back into the final set. So after I pull the core back, we have these big film reels, and I go up to this light here and I shine the spotlight on somebody who's coming across to the back 25 ladder, and as soon as he passes by, I just chill with it right at the end. Scott just kind of said, all right, Nico, kind of figure out something to do, and I try to figure out like what are things that the members do throughout the entirety of the show. So
and breathe, exhale, stay low, flex your feet.
We're tight roping, we're trying to hold balance, creating big body lines, and then they have an entire phrase of body movement where they're changing levels, doing a lot of different body shapes. We're just trying to keep them in character.
So trumpet, after we do this, we go up and we push. That's not another one of these low spins, okay? It's not one of the releases. It's just a character change, okay? So your hands here is pressing away. It presses, and you can do a spin if you want, but it's not one of the low curved spines, okay? We basically just try to balance on a rope, an imaginary rope on the ground to our next dot. And it's kind of hard because you're like focusing on that and trying to make it look real, but while staying in a form. It's definitely different than anything else I've ever done. And that goes for all the choreography we do here. But I enjoy it.
Cover, cover, cover. Power, power. Now slow down. Take your time. Take your time. Don't overhype.
You're on track to do an amazing thing this year. Just keep enjoying every minute of it, because man, you guys are incredible.
No art passes through conscience in the way that film does. And in the waning moments of the Blue Devils' 2014 competitive season, the end lies in sight. Each member living through moments that tap directly into human emotion and deep down into the rooms of their soul. Artistic truth captured in the audience's ever-observant gaze as a spectacle that defies explanation. Right until the very end. In the plains of America stands a cavernous edifice that has laid witness to some of the world's greatest contests. Its remarkable form, a reminder of man's unique talents in construction, innovation, and design. This is Lucas Oil Stadium, and for the last several days, it has acted as the grand theater for the world's finest drum and bugle corps. Now is the time for the performers to take their places, the audiences to find their seats. For this, ladies and gentlemen, is the final act, the time when the hard work of the past year translates into the performance of a lifetime. This is the DCI World Championships.
Yeah, I still got makeup on. Well, we're about to go to our last rehearsal at the Colts facility today. It's finals. And we just finished writing our age out things. So it's a real emotional day for us. It's pretty intense.
I'm really excited, but I'm also trying to just do the same thing that I do every single day.
It's run through time, finals day.
Run through time.
And there's something about your energy. There's just something about your heart and your soul. There's something about your passion that's not like any other Blue Devil drum corps I've seen. There's just this passion and there's this pull in, and then you just get sucked right into it and you get goosebumps and you cry. You guys worked hard. That was the best Saturday rehearsal I've seen. You were in business. You could have taken today off, and you did not. You actually worked harder than I could ever imagine. And have that rehearsal, clean those errors out of the show, and have that kind of passion to run through, that means you guys are the most professional drum corps I've ever seen in my entire life. I've seen Saturday rehearsals. You guys had the best Saturday rehearsal I've seen.
We are on our way to finals right now, on our way to Lucas Oil. I'm really, really excited. Like, we've been looking forward to this day for like 3 months now.
As the last time I get to speak to you guys, I just have to tell you how unbelievably proud I am of you. There you go. And this season could not have gone any other way if it wasn't for every single person here right now.
Welcome to the World Championships, Blue Devils. There is nothing like it in your entire world that you're ever going to experience as this. There'll be things that will be cool, but it'll be nothing like this. Nothing. So togetherness, yes, tonight, togetherness, heart and soul. Heart and soul, you have to believe. You have to believe with each other. You have to connect in each other. If you believe, if you have fun, if you sell it, if you commit to it, there'll be nothing like it, and the audience will have never seen anything like it before their whole lives. You ready to be the ultimate Blue Devils? Yeah. Best one ever? Yeah. Let's go have some fun. Let's go do it, Blue Devils. Woo!
It was the best show that I've ever performed.
It was just unreal. I never knew it could all click together, and it just did. I was just speechless.
I've never experienced anything like this, and I'm going to try not to cry right now just talking about it.
Definitely one of the most unforgettable experiences I've ever had. I'm just so happy how it came out.
And tonight was just a special show that I don't think anyone has ever experienced before.
It's the perfect top. It's almost undefinable. It was so amazing.
Like a Blue Devil.
I'm about to do retreat now, so it's not over yet. And maybe one more performance. Who knows? Let's see.
See that number?
Come on. What?
Come on.
See it.
Receiving the gold medal and recipient of the best trophy, the 2014 International World Champion, with a score of 199.65.
Yes! Oh my God!
Be Italian!
Oh my God! We.
Good rookie year? Yeah.
Woo! Go Blues!
Congratulations. Congrats. Congrats.
Saki!
Congratulations. Thank you so much.
This year and this show and these people and this organization is beautiful.
I'm speechless.
I'm speechless.
Unbelievable. I'm so happy to be the Blue Devils. So excited, so happy.
I just can't believe what just happened. This is the best drum corps I've ever been a part of, and I'm aging out to this, and it's the best thing I think it's ever happened to me. What even just happened? I don't know.
Is this real? Is this for real?
This is real. It's real life. Wow. Wow. Wow.
You guys are just spectacular. That was so awesome. That was the best. That was just the most fun I've ever had in my entire life, just watching you right there. I'm so proud of you, of the show, and just right now. Do you see the audience? That was awesome. You guys are just spectacular. Couldn't be more proud of you.
I remember when I first made the core back in 2012 and thinking of this day and remembering that it felt so far away.
As with all things that begin, they too must end. Thus, another season of learning, growth, and life experiences comes to a close.
Not happy that I'm done, but happy that I made it to the end.
To have had the privilege to perform, to share with friends and build new families.
I've done it for 6 years. A lot of the people I talk to on the regular, I met through this activity. It's really weird to know that this will no longer be a normal part of my life.
It is in this manner that the world of drum corps and cinema are alike. A canvas of the imagination and discovery. A creative soul search in which the impossible becomes the visible. The 2014 Blue Devil season comes to a conclusion, yet it will not soon be forgotten. Paying homage to one of the greatest filmmakers of all time required a search into one's own cycle of life, one of humor, of irony, sadness, and joy. In other words, a search into what it simply means to be Fellini-esque.
By far the most incredible production that I've ever been a part of.
This is just such an amazing corps to age out with, and these are all my best friends.
It went by so quickly and I had an awesome time.
2014, this is the year to age out.
Fellini-esque was a word that represents something that's very fantastical and surreal.
Very clever. So when we get back from rehearsal this evening, anything that you don't want thrown out, just put up on your seat. Same days like laundry day.
So we're at the Colts facility. It's Wednesday before quarterfinals. This is usually the afternoon block that we do here, and then in the evening we'll go to the high school. And I don't know, it's always like the first block is like you've arrived, and if you've done this for a couple years here, the the finals week, the pacing of the last week of the summer is always, it always starts today.
This feels good.
Takes like a month or two just to get like my nose back to normal. Really? Yeah. Human skin is so weird. Yeah, I get back to school and people are like, what happened to your nose?
Pretty close every time, but sometimes you guys get really tight to one guy and pretty big on the other side.
Finals week. You make a mistake, you pay. Literally. Here we go. Focus in now.
Let's see. People like thank BP for sure, and Kevin and Sean. They helped us a lot, the tubas, this year.
I'd definitely like to give thanks to the medical staff.
And my high school band director. He was an alumni here, so he was able to give me more perspective of the corps.
I have a lot of thanks to give, but I really want to give thanks to my parents.
I'd like to thank every person I've ever marched DCI with. It's been really cool. I'm gonna miss it a lot.
I would like to thank Michael Sampson for being my friend for the past 3 years and always standing beside me when I had hard times in rehearsal.
As always, I'd like to thank my mom, because
People often ask me, "Hey Matt Ball, how do you manage to stay so pale on drum corps tour?" And I tell them, I have a little secret. Aside from my magic wand, I also have copious amounts of Coppertone sunscreen, ranging in SPFs from 30 to 50. I have enough sunscreen that it could probably kill a man. Also have some Equate, some Banana Boat, 2 different kinds of Banana Boat. 2 men, some more SPF 30. I think that's all I got.
Alexa, you broke from your substitute.
I would like to say thank you to my best friend Griselda for always being there for me, because she was always there during the laundry days to help me out with my laundry and to be my seat partner when I needed someone to talk to or a shoulder to cry on or someone to laugh with. So it's been great for our past 3 years together.
Did you style in the morning?
I want to thank my parents and my friends back home for supporting me through all this and making all of this possible.
Definitely would like to thank the staff, the brass staff especially. They've been really great my whole time here and showed me drum corps is a lot different than I thought it was when I started. So.
Everyone's getting tatted up.
I thought it was a great idea to draw Tupac.
Finals day. Trick Frisbee. That's Jamie up there. See him? I'm gonna get this. We're getting it.
Andrew's working
Probably
on his
do.
stick tosses.
Yeah. He's working on his stick.
Solid form.
Yep, I called it.
Great execution. Flawless.
Come on, interview me now, Justin.
What's going on, John?
Not much. We're sitting here in the Colts facility. It's hard life. Oh, don't put that on there.
Best thing about the Colts facility, they got a little 6-hole golf course here. That's the one. It's a good day. It's a good day to be a Blue Devil.
I also like to thank John Meehan for giving me this opportunity, because he told me not to, what did he say? He said, don't make me regret this when he gave me a contract. So I was like, all right, I won't.
I'd like to thank the staff for being some of the best teachers that I've ever worked with in my entire life. I'd like to thank my parents for constantly supporting me throughout my Blue Devil experience from the first day until now. Just thank you, Thank you to everyone, the members and everybody.
Harder than ever. This is what happens when you make mistakes.
Better leave him alone.
Hey, what's going on? Got a little marching band today. Pretty good marching band. You know.
Great workout, guys. Really good. All right, everybody, have a great warm-up. Have a great
great final.
Raised brass just a tiny bit on the back side of the beat because these guys actually held the tempo a little bit better. So make sure you energize through the halftime. You get all into that phrase, and you guys just killed it to the end. So really nice job.
So I just want to thank you on behalf of the staff for being the best Blue Devil horn line that's maybe ever existed. And that goes with talent, commitment, and then just being nice people. We talk about that on the bus all the time. You're really nice people. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for an awesome summer, guys. It's awesome.
Big thanks to the alumni like Ronnie and all them. They're the best. Support staff who, keep us going. You guys who document our exciting journey and just, are cool to hang with.
I would love to thank my grandparents. Without you guys, none of this would ever have happened. I've never been in music or a band, got on trumpet, never would have done any of that stuff. And if it wasn't for the support that you guys have given me during all these years of drum corps, I would have never made it here to the Blue Devils, which is, as you guys know, where I've always wanted to be. So thank you guys. Love you.
You're one of my best friends, you know that?
It's really hard to be in the front line, and I'm really glad to pass it down to this person because I know they pick up Scott's stuff like that. And personally, this person is one of my best friends, so Chris.
Welcome
to the front line.
You are the example of how everyone else should look, and that definitely includes performing. And this person is always performing 24/7. Every time you look at her, she always gets complimented, and I always feel like, dang, I'm still not performing as big as her, and she more than deserves both of my stretch blanket and my spot, and it's going to Laura.
I would like to thank Robbie Jacobson. This is my 10th season of him teaching me, and without him, I would not be at the level I am today.
I want to thank all the staff and all the volunteers because without them, we couldn't do half of what we do. They do so much for us behind the scenes, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be a part of this family and for helping me grow as a person and as a performer.
It's pretty much to the whole organization, like all amazing members and the staff that have given me this opportunity.
Starting new traditions today.
What is it?
Check this out.
We made these yard markers this year to replace the old ones, and so we're starting something where the drum majors sign the inside of the 50 at the end of each year.
I'm gonna make sure that these stay. So if they break, I'm gonna plaster them, whatever.
First of all, the first thing I want to say to all of you is thank you for an incredible season. You have conducted yourself in a way that has not only made me proud as a teacher, but as a human being to watch you guys all grow. I've been on the staff since 08, and I remember every horn line really well. John always teases me, says I have a memory like an elephant, kind of thing. And that's good and bad sometimes. But every horn line is a little bit different. This one is by far one of the more special lines that I think I've ever worked with. Because of the fact that you lean on each other, you're determined, your tenacity day in and day out is overwhelming to me sometimes. And your ability to just go ahead and fight for every single inch, every single note, every day is inspiring as a teacher. Tonight on the field, my most important thing to you is to enjoy it. Enjoy it because you've earned it. You've earned that. Get out, look into the audience and go, this is time. Enjoy it. Thank you so much for an incredible season. I appreciate it.
Tonight on that field, don't do it for any other reason but this, what we have this year, because it's incredible. And for those who are aging out, congratulations. You've had a great run. Thank you for everything you've done. And for the people who are staying, don't let this stop. Past Saturday night into next year. It can't stop, or else, you got to carry it on, guys. Aye? Thank you for everything.
You build all these relationships with these people, and then tonight's when it just disappears. It's one last time, and then it's gone. It's very impermanent, and that's what makes it very beautiful.
Love what he did for us.
Thank you, Jared.
the youth on the staff. I can't run, and these guys were my wheels all summer long, so I think you guys owe them some thanks. Really great job, guys. Thank you very much. It's been a heck of a year. Great teaching year after year. Thank you.
And the oldest staff.
The right reason to do something, okay, is always the right reason, okay? And usually that's not for yourself, okay? Usually the right reason to do something is for somebody else. And this year it was for all the right reasons. Never once did I doubt why I was doing what I was doing with you guys and why I was working with the people that I was working with, okay? And it's been a completely different experience this summer for me. This is always where I needed to be during the summer. And hopefully you could tell over this week, it's all been about these guys, okay, and about you. I like to do this just because of the energy that's created out of people that didn't know who each other was, okay, a year ago or 2 years ago, and now you're creating this, okay? It's amazing to think that you are creating this, and you didn't grow up together, you know? Like that's a pretty amazing thing. So absolutely 100%, just love tonight.